Pauley, with instruction by Rick Pauley.
There are 4 primary points of resistance that enable the pitcher to produce a solid foundation for transferring energy. When the landing foot heel plants, Sarah's landing knee has a slight bend, but the leg will be extremely firm, providing the much-needed front-side resistance. Avoiding a lockout leg condition is critical. The momentum is being driven into the inside of the landing leg, foot, and hip. Pitchers must have strong legs to support front-side resistance. This front-side resistance causes the linear body energy to transfer first into hip rotation and then followed by shoulder rotation. When the landing foot plants, the upper torso or spine should be tilted about 8 to 10 degrees behind vertical to help with the bracing action that is attempting to stop all forward momentum. It's at heel plant that the forward momentum changes abruptly from linear to rotational. When the pitching motion has reached the release point, the upper torso has moved forward to a position where the spine is tilted only 1
See where her hips are?
behind vertical. It's important to note that the upper torso hinges at the waistline as it moves into this position. The upper torso significantly decelerates its forward movement and firms up to provide front-side resistance. The front leg is bent but still very firm, also providing additional front-side resistance. As the body moves to the release position, note how the throwing hip snaps in a very short, curvilinear, violent motion. This snap rotation moves
Hips
up the
go,
chain through the
then
core
here comes the
muscles
release, and then
and create shoulder
they stall
rotation,
right there.
which in turn
The hips
aids in
stall.
arm width.
I'll rewind this. The hips stall there.
Prior to release, kinetic chain through the core muscles and create shoulder rotation, which in turn aids in arm width.
I'll rewind it again.
As the body moves to the release position, note how the throwing hip snaps in a very short, curvilinear, violent motion. This snap rotation moves up the kinetic chain through the core muscles and creates shoulder rotation, which in turn aids in arm width. Just prior to release, the hip closing rotation decelerates and firms up. Additionally, the shoulder rotation decelerates in a firming action with the intent of providing a strong anchor for the throwing arm to pull against.
Okay, that right there is where we talk about getting 245 and stopping. As you can see, she rotates the hips. They basically snap and they stop. And that's what gathers all this energy right at release. See where she's at release? Right at release.
2 common flaws relative to shoulder resistance are when the pitcher forces shoulder rotation while attempting to release the ball, and secondly, in allowing the shoulder to collapse during release. Remember, a firm shoulder is key to energy transfer, as it provides a solid, fixed base that improves the consistency of your release point. In review, the 4 points of resistance are: 1, a firm front landing leg; 2, a firm upper torso at time of release; 3, a hip snap rotation that firms up just prior to release; and 4, a shoulder rotation that firms up at release to provide a solid anchor for the arm to pull against.
Okay, what he means there by firms up, it means you're not spinning through. Like we try to tell her all the time, don't spin through. Firm up the shoulders, firm up the hips, basically meaning you're stopping right at 45. If you just spin through, there's nothing to throw against. We're trying to firm that up so we have something to throw against. Some momentum built up, it firms up, it stops, and we throw against it.
Weak resistance at any of these 4 points will result in less than optimal energy transfer, in addition to inconsistent control.
We hope you've enjoyed this lesson from High Performance.